my classmates would know, the people in my class. But now I'll be curious to see who watches this video on the team and who says something or not. Probably the underclassmen don't know, but I would say the juniors and seniors have an idea for sure.
Grace Isaacs isn't referring to things like this or this.
Now her quick set to Kyara Black, and she's rejected by Grace Isaacs.
She's referring to this. That's right, Isaacs was a dancer. She started at the age of 3 and kept at it over the next 15 years. How Isaacs got started in dance is the first interesting step in this story.
My brother is definitely not the dancer, no family history of it, so I think it was just my interest, thought it'd be fun, and maybe my mom wanted to see me in some cute outfits.
We'll come back to the outfits in a moment, but how does someone with no family history in an activity get hooked on it?
I would probably say it was different from sports. At that time, I was involved in every single sport you could think of too. Always busy with that, but I think it was something different and unique that I just thoroughly enjoyed. Again, I didn't have the friend aspect of all your little friends on the soccer team or the volleyball team, but it was kind of just me really enjoying what I was doing.
Isaacs first learned ballet and tap. As she got older, she would learn jazz and hip-hop. Each year would culminate with a huge recital in the spring. After rehearsal week, it was time for the performance.
The big day, you're waking up early to do the makeup, the hair, the costume changes. And it usually be around 7 o'clock at night. Have all the family come, so it was a big deal back in the day.
2 quick follow-ups. How long was your hair and makeup as a young girl, and then how many costume changes are we talking in these early recitals?
You calling me high maintenance, Rick?
No. It's just a general question. As someone who's never been in the dance world, I was like, take us behind the curtain, Grace.
Okay. My mom, Debbie, definitely was the hairdresser for most of the years until high school. But sometimes the dance instructor would have an idea of what type of hair, what type of makeup, or all these like yeses and nos, can and can'ts that you can do. So I would say it would take a while, probably like an hour and a half. So we were up a decent amount before the actual show. And then costumes, it could depend on how many. When I had the spurt of doing all 4, probably like six costume changes in a recital. So yeah, it was something.
So just wearing one uniform for volleyball is really easy for what you.
It's a cakewalk. This warm up shirt and a jersey change, I can do that, no problem.
As Isaacs got to middle school and into her early high school years, it became a true balancing act between the multiple sports she was involved in and dance. Isaacs says you could see the family van flying up and down the streets of Highland Heights, Kentucky, multiple days each week.
School started at 7:15, so got up with mom. Mom was the teacher at the high school, so go in with Miss Isaacs, have class from 7:15 to like 2:15, and then volleyball practice or basketball at 3, and that would be until like 5:30. Get home, scarfs down some dinner for like 20 minutes, and then you probably have like dance at like 6:30 or 7, and that could go depending on the night from like 7 to 9:30. So.
And then you found some time to do homework and stuff like that, right? Fun.
I don't know how I did it sometimes. I'm just really happy that I stuck with volleyball and dance for sure, but that was hard enough in itself. In middle school, I was probably doing 3 or 4 sports with dance, but definitely by 8th grade, getting ready for high school and club, I had to cut it off and pick some. So dance and volleyball were for sure the favorites. So it wasn't too hard to decide.
A decision Isaacs did work hard at to maintain was keeping these two worlds separate from each other. When Isaacs did tell her high school volleyball teammates about her other after-school activity, they didn't believe what they were hearing.
They would want evidence. They would want pictures. They would want me to do some tap routine right in front of them during school. Yeah, they definitely weren't buying it at the first thought. So even I remember my mom talks about this a lot. What was this, freshman year? I had to tell my varsity volleyball coach that I wasn't going to make it to the practice because we had the dress rehearsal for the big show on a weeknight or something, and she was in shock that I danced. So I definitely kept that on the down low for majority of my time dancing.
Out of the 4 types of dance she learned, Isaac says tap was her favorite. It also happens to be the one that mirrors her other favorite pastime.
Quick, short movements in the front row that you got to have that speed. I've gotten compliments from coaches in the past of nice footwork. Even Coach Luthia said that before, and I honestly would have to thank dance sometimes because of that.
Isaacs also mentioned that the discipline needed in a dance routine has helped in volleyball too. As our interview went on, Isaacs revealed that her dance career did not come to a complete stop after high school.
Did you ever think of trying to do dance while you were here at Taylor?
Well, I did for a semester as a class for my 1 credit of art that you have to have to graduate. So I did do a semester of tap through the theater last year, but I think that will be the extent of that.
Now, Grace, I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but isn't that kind of like cheating? You did 15 years of dance, and tap was your best one, and I'm assuming you got an A, right? Please tell me you got an A.
I did get an A.
Okay.
It wasn't too hard. I pulled the A out for sure.
Well, it shouldn't be. You had an advantage over everybody else.
Maybe a little, but they had some. I was in the upper level. They asked me to be put in the upper level class because the other people had never tapped in their life. So it was fun.
Again, that would have been cheating if you would have been in the lower level. These kids, they're your fellow students. They're just learning. Yeah, or you just be bored. That too.
The senior is an exercise science major and would like to start a career as an athletic trainer or physical therapist. But don't think she is stopping there. Isaacs hopes to also one day be a volleyball coach and, you guessed it, a dance instructor. With the Taylor volleyball team, Rick Johnston, Trojan Sports Network.